I'd like you just to drop your arms down by your side, give them a little shake out, just so that you can relax your shoulders. So if you want to do a few little shoulder shrugs, just to really come into the space today for doing our little Zentangle. So I'm just going to really get comfortable now in my chair. And I'm feeling that my bottom is really securely on the seat and my feet are flat on the floor. Legs aren't crossed. And if you can't get your feet on the floor, that's okay, but just don't have your legs crossed if that's okay. And then we're just going to take a nice big breath in. So breathing in through the nose and just let it out through the mouth. In through the nose. And just let it go. Just one more. Okay. So for the next sort of however long it's going to take, we're just going to concentrate on what we're doing on this tile today. So to start with, I'm going to do 4 dots, 1 in each corner. And then I'm going to just join them up. So as we join them, we're going to just breathe in. And then as you draw the other line, just let that breath go. And then breathe in. And just let it go. Okay. So today my string is going to be just a little bit different. So, and don't worry, we're not going to get technical about drawing a circle. So we're just going to draw a shape, okay, that kind of resembles a circle. Okay, but it's not going to be perfect because we're just drawing it by hand. And that's okay because it is what it is. So it's just a shape. And from that shape, I'm going to do some lines. And just imagine this is just bringing the light into our lovely drawing, because I'm just bringing these rays here. Just do one there. Probably do one there. And it's going to be what it's going to be. Just radiate out from your circle. Okay. So I'm going to actually just leave it like that. So I have got a little line down here at the bottom, which is fine. So that's kind of just giving me some segments now that I can tangle inside. So I'm going to just take my pen. And I am going to start with our Knightsbridge pattern. Okay. So, and I'm going to fill that in. Just choose a segment, any one that you want, to put this pattern inside. Okay. So I've got a very large segment here. So I'm just going to start with doing some slightly curved lines. Okay. And if you bump into your shape here, just remember to go behind. And then I'm going to just go from the opposite way and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do some curved grid lines coming down. There we are. There might be just another one. Okay. And I'm just going to grab my other pen because I'm going to be colouring quite a bit of this. So if we start from the edge, and I want you just to concentrate on just colouring in each of these spaces. Just really concentrate on just that space that you are working within right now. Okay, and then just working through, we're just going to color one, leave one blank, and color one, and leave one blank. It's kind of like a chessboard really, or a drafts board. And we'll just work down. Just colouring in the space. And when you get to the edge of your string, basically that's the point where we just stop and then go to the next row. And this time it's the opposite, so we're kind of the diagonal. So I'm starting under a blank square and I'm colouring in. And then I'll leave one blank, and then the next one will be coloured in. But all you're going to be doing is just concentrating on that square that you are working within right now. Just concentrate on just filling in that space. Okay, and then my next one, and you might have a little tiny bit just on the edge that you need to colour in, and that's fine. Always turning that tile so that it is comfortable for you. Okay. Just remember to breathe normally. Because sometimes when we're concentrating, we can just be holding our breath. Just breathe normally. Just concentrate on that square that you're coloured in right now. And I've just got a tiny bit just at the bottom there that's coloured in. That was just popping behind there. Okay, so that's our Knightsbridge pattern on that side. And then if I come down here, I'm actually I'm going to do the same again. So I'm going to do my grid. It's gone that way this time. It's a smaller space, so I might only get a couple in there. And it's different shapes, and that's fine. And this time I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do my little whirligigs, my little praton. So I'm going to basically start in the middle with a little cinnamon bun. So I'll just show you that for those that might not know. So you just start in the middle, and you go round and round, and then you actually come back and join onto yourself. So it's like a little cinnamon bun, and you can do them really small, or you can do them really, really big. Okay, but we're just going to use them as a little decoration in the middle of our Knightsbridge to just do a variation. So I'm just going to colour in, and I've chosen a reasonably small space to do this in. And you can make them as big or as small as you like. We're just going to colour in around whatever shape you've decided to put in the middle. And you could have the shapes in the white squares and colour in the black squares as well. There's nothing to stop you doing that. It is your little drawing after all. It's your work of art. So there we go, we've just got little whirligigs in that one. The praton. So that's just to show you a variation of that specific one there. So in this one, I'm going to just do some, I'm going to probably start down, I'm going to do that, the little floral wave. So I'm just going to do some little waves like that. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to aura that. Okay. And then I'm going to do a little half moon in there and just colour that. And I'm going to do a little half moon in this one. Colour that. And just go along and do a little half moon in each of the little valleys. And then I'll do some little petals just coming out. And there'll be as many petals as you decide. Okay, so it'll be as many as you decide to make it. But just make them as big or as small as you want. And I'll turn that over. Do the same. Okay. And then I'm just going to aura now my little hills between here and the flowers. So when I come to my string, I'm just going to stop and just go as if it's gone underneath there. Okay, so on this one as well, and you can decide how many lines feels right or fits in the space to do your aura. Okay, so for me it's looking like it's just 3 little lines on that side, and then I'll do the same on this side. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then the same here. I'm going to aura 1, 2, 3. So you're coming from one of the petals and you're creating a little rainbow. Okay, like that. So I'll show you close up. So then I'm just going to come along this line and do the same. So I'm just going to practically be bumping. And then I'll aura that. Oops. And then I'll do my little black mark, and this time you can leave a little highlight if you like that, on your mark. So I've left a little white spot. So it's like a little highlight on my little arc. Oops, forgot to do one on that one. But that's okay, because that is what it is. So then I'll do one in here, one in here, one in here, and I've remembered to leave little lights in those ones. So I'm going to do my flowers. And as I say, you'll have as many petals as fits for you. And my hills are much steeper this time as well, so in here. And then when you come to the string and you're bumping up against it, just remember to go underneath, because that's the petals would just be continuing, but I can't see them because I've bumped up into the string. And then I'll aura. Obviously I can't fit exactly in the space, but I'll just aura that where I can aura with 3 little rainbows until I bump into my other, oops. Okay. So I might actually then aura around, so I'm filling this space. So I might actually come here and just aura along and aura here as well, just to fill in that space. But as always, you can leave white space as well. So I'm just going to come and draw a little space in there. And I might actually just draw a little space, just like when you're doing Crescent Moon. I'll colour that in. So here as well, I can do the same. Just a little triangle there, a little triangle there. Okay. So in my next one, so choose your next space. I'm going to just do some flux. So we're just going to do like a teardrop coming round. And then we're just going to do a line and 3 dots. Okay, so to show that in big, I'm going to just do a big teardrop shape. And then you'll just kind of do just a flick of the pen to create a line and then do 3 dots. You might choose to do 2 dots, you might choose to do more than one, because if you do another one coming out from that, you can maybe have 3 little flicks, and then your dots might go the other way across. Okay, so you do what's comfortable for you. You might not even do any flicks, and that's absolutely fine as well. But I'm just going to build on my flux in this one. And when you hit your string, you can just have your flux going very thin. And if you create a little gap, just colour it in black. So here I've got like a gap, and I just coloured it. So you're just going around and filling that space with your flux. And turn your tile so that it is comfortable for you. Okay. And you can imagine where the other flux would be behind and just fill in that space. So I could have one that's just coming behind there. And again, there'll be others that will just be going off. But again, don't be afraid of white space. Okay, and then I'm just going to draw my and you can use the wispy bits to kind of give a direction as well. So you can have it sort of coming up on a kind of angle so that it gives more direction for that flux. Okay. And on this one, I think I'm going to just have some mist just falling down here. So I'm going to just start with a little squiggle and do some dots. That squiggle. And you can choose whether you do 3 dots, 4 dots, however feels right for you. But try and keep them really, really close together. And they can be long and they can be really short. But just try and keep them so that they're quite tight. And in the last space, we'll have a go down our Tropicana, the one I showed you at the start. So mine's probably going to be quite small, but you can do it the size that it'll be to fit your space. So I'm just going to come out of here and do some little rounded triangles. And when I hit my string, I'll just imagine where the next one will be. And then I'm going to have a little small, change my pen actually, a little small trimont. So do a triangle and then a little dot, and then you just join up the lines. So if I show you that on my big pad, so you're going to draw a triangle and then a little dot, and then you're going to have a line going up to that corner and a line coming down from this corner, and then a line going straight down to that corner. Okay, only they're quite small in this space. So there's going to be another one there, and another tiny one there. Okay. And then I will do my line, so coming down. And just like we did at the very start. So our line is just going to come out each time from the previous line that we've drawn. Okay, and then I'll leave one, and then I'll do the next one. Okay, and then I'm going to come up to the top here and just, I'll have some that are going to be, that you won't see very much of. Okay, so like that. And then I'll have my little tiny trimond in that gap. Oops. Okay. And then once again, I'll do it so that I'm starting from this side, and I'll just draw what I can, given that I've got my circle here. And I'll leave one blank, and then carry on. Oops. Oh, I didn't leave one blank, did I? Oh dear, leave that one blank. Okay, got carried away. And for my circle, I'm just going to do some crescent moons around the outside of it, but I'm not going to colour them in. Sorry, I don't mean I'm not going to colour them in. I'm not going to go the whole way with my auras. So I'm going to start and just do 3 little auras and then come round. But as with all these things, if you want to leave a white space, that is absolutely fine too. Actually, I'm going to just start. I'm going to just do another aura to fill up, and then I'm going to stop whenever they start to join up. So I'm going to leave it so that there's a space in the middle of my, actually looks like these are all kind of joining into each other. Okay. So I'm kind of just going to have a little look and see if there's anything that I need to add. And I think I'm kind of happy with how that is. So I'm going to do some shading now. And I think I'll start with my Flux, because with shading it's just a case of adding some graphite just at the bottom of each one to give it a little bit of depth, because it's not about light and dark, it's about making it pop off the page really. So taking it from a 2D to a 3D kind of picture. So just shading that, and as long as you leave some white, you'll get that kind of more defined effect. Just go in there and shade. Okay. And with my Crescent Moon, I'm actually just going to shade around the outside of it to kind of pull you in, so that you're kind of looking into this little sort of white void here. So kind of just to draw your eye inwards, I'm just going to kind of shade and leave a white with that. And with Msst, you kind of want to shade along the edge so that you're given depth between the kind of stringy bits. So it's really about shading where you've got the little kind of dangly bits, and then leaving the rest of it sort of so that you kind of get this sort of like it's all, I suppose, like mist basically. So there's a little bit of a fog there, but you can still see some light. And with the Knightsbridge, basically you would want to come in and just give like an L shape on the white squares to just define that and hopefully make it pop. I'm just going to give like an L to really make that jump out. So on each of the white squares, just add a little bit of graphite. And then just blend it out. Okay, and I'll have to do the same on my other variation of the Knightsbridge. Just putting a little L in. But always just leaving a little bit of white. Just got a bit of a... And again with these little arcs, if you just shade one side of them, of the plain ones, and then actually I might just shade one side of the lined ones as well, and just kind of accentuate that middle bit. and kind of leave the bottom white so that you're kind of drawn in. So if you kind of make the the left hand side maybe darker, but leave the bottom little triangle white so you're pulled in. Probably would have had a triangle there, looking at it actually. Okay, on there as well. And then on your waves, you can just, I'm going to just add a little bit of shading just in the white bits that I've got up the top there. But you can just shade maybe just one of your little auras. So just kind of go along the edge and just shade, just to give it a little bit of definition. Always leaving some white so that it pops. Again on this side. And on this one do the same. Just choose one of the little rainbows. But leaving some white just so it pops. I'll just shade in behind those actually. Okay. And then what you want to do is just hold it at arm's length. Just looking at it and making sure that you're happy with what you've done. If there's any little changes that you want to make. And just turning it round, because there's no top or bottom with Zentangle. And then we're going to just add our initials. So if you just find a little spot. So maybe up in this little square here, I can just put a little PB. And then just take a moment to look at this little piece of artwork that you've created today. And then we'll put the details on the back. So your name. And it's the 6th of May today. So it's my Zentangle session. And then we can put Knightsbridge. And Flux. And Tropicana. And Crescent Moon. And then the other Knightsbridge is really just a variation, so we don't need to do Knightsbridge again. And then we did Msst, which is Msst, M-S-S-T, and Floral Waves. Okay, I think that's them all. Okay, so maybe you did some different ones.